So, would you like to tell everybody what we're watching this week?
Absolutely. So we're back to sci-fi action movies. It's a 1987 cult classic, The Running Man, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, Maria Conchita Alonso, Richard Dawson, and the always excellent Yaphet Kotto. It's directed by Paul Michael Glaser from a screenplay by Stephen E. D'Souza. It's loosely based on a 1982 The Running Man by Stephen King under his pseudonym Richard Bachman. So, just to give you an idea of what this one's about, the film's set in a dystopic and totalitarian future between sort of 2017 and 2019 in the United States. It's actually quite ironic how many of the films we now see are set in what was the future then.
It's kind of ironic how many of the things they thought were dystopian have actually come true.
Well, that's right. It's a state-controlled broadcaster who has a deadly game show in which convicted criminals known as runners must survive pursuit by themed gladiatorial assassins called stalkers. The story follows Captain Ben Richards, who's played by Schwarzenegger, a framed police officer forced to compete on the show who becomes an unlikely symbol of resistance against a corrupt government and its manipulative media machine. So there you have it. Classic of its time.
Classic, yeah.
I must have seen it so many times. It's like an old friend, this one. What do you think?
Yeah, it's actually really for a sort of a cult movie, it's as good, if not better, than I remembered.
Agreed,
It stood up really well.
I loved watching it again. I'd forgotten how much I enjoyed it.
I did as well.
Running Man, I know this inside out, but having watched it again, I got more
Still
out
good.
of it. Still getting stuff
Still good. I forgot Yaphet Kotto was in it.
Yeah,
In fact, I'd forgotten a lot of things about it. It's just a really good movie. Director Paul Michael Glaser, who is definitely most famous as playing David Starsky in the TV series, barely directed anything else, which seems utterly bizarre after such a success story.
That's true. I mean, I remember watching Starsky and Hutch 1975 to 1979.
Yeah.
And get this, there were 90 episodes at 50 minutes each.
Wow.
And Glaser actually directed some of them.
Interesting.
Yeah. So quite an interesting guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And does a really good job here.
He does.
I mean, Arnie is very wooden, but he's so charismatic, it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And he's great, even though he's, as far as actors go, you know, he's very amdram. Yeah. You just can't help but enjoy his performance.
You can't. In fact, I read that Arnie criticised the director, or Paul Michael Glaser, as director, because he said it was too much like a TV approach. He wanted it to be more dark and dystopian with a darker
tallies
message.
With the novel, apparently.
Exactly, but then when you look at it, it does give Arnie that vehicle to... the classic one-liner walks, and that works.
He's got one for everyone.
If it was too bleak, it wouldn't be half the film.
No, it would be no good. Yeah. With all due respect to him, Schwarzenegger's not good enough to lead up a serious dramatic piece. At least not at this point. No, it's got to be over the top, gladiator style.
I totally agree. In line with what else he was doing and the period. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, it was mid-80s, so...
so he's on his best run, really. Yeah, obviously, he's come off Terminator. He's done Commando at this point.
I believe so, yeah, that's right.
He's done Raw Deal, I think.
So you don't want a dark, socially conscious commentary on
you just want to see him beat everyone up.
Exactly, that's what he's best at. And quite right. So, yeah.
I thought as well, I've got to say, Richard Dawson...
Oh, yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
But he was an actual game show host.
He was. In fact, when we get on to who we thought was a standout performance, I think he's going to pop up a bit later on, because I remember him, and he, from what I remember reading, he was a game show host, and people have actually said that some of his performances in this film was similar to how he used to deliver some of his performance on the shows he was on.
I bet they were.
But I think, looking back, when I used to watch it was all about Arnie, but looking back and being more of a critique of the movie and performances in general, he's the guy who's so believable.
He
It's
is.
quite ironic that they've got a film that's all about people getting sort of destroyed and chased around and basically murdered. Capital punishment game show, and we've got chainsaw wielding gladiators and making them mincemeat out of them, while the host chases ratings.
Yeah, that's it.
Equally as mercenary.
That's it. Yeah.
And the more people, the more death, shock, horror, and carnage, the higher the ratings go.
That's it. Yeah.
So we did say there was almost a parallel with modern day life. But
Yeah, that's it's quite stark. Yeah, he's really good in it, I've got to say. And actually, I think they capture the whole game show vibe really, really well.
They do.
You know, the studio, the audience.
The contestants are great.
Contestants are
they're
great.
piling the game show, the board games up on them.
Yeah, that's it. And the video players and everything.
Yeah,
really good.
He's English, actually, Richard Dawson.
He is, yeah. He's a TV actor as well, I think. It's not. He wasn't just a TV host.
No.
But he's. I think he's probably most famous as a host and for this.
He is the ruthless producer, I've written here, rating obsessed at any cost.
That's it.
Depicts the state of US corrupt media.
And the other really stark thing is the use of what we now know as a deep fake.
Oh yeah,
to falsify
that's right.
the crime.
Yeah, the
which
Bakersfield,
is
a
legitimate modern day concern.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, obviously, when this was made, it would have been pie in the sky crazy, but now
it's a reality.
It's a reality.
It's a threatening reality as well.
Yeah.
Much in the way that Ben Richards is in trouble. There's a lot of people in trouble.
Absolutely.
Perhaps not quite as consequential as that.
It's now possible without studio backing and a secondary showing, of recording a second scene.
And this was 87, remember?
And it's not just obviously the crime, is it? They also do the deep fake for when Mr. America or whoever he's called kills him.
Yes, that's right, because they do issue that, and you
actually see them transfer his face onto the whoever it is that he actually kills. So
not future shock, it's future reality, isn't it? When you look, and who'd have thought when we were watching it, when I was watching this in 87, 88, and this was pure science fiction. Think, oh wow, I wonder, wouldn't it be great if we could do that? well, be careful what you wish for,
absolutely.
I think, because here we are.
You touched on it in the intro, based on a novel by Richard Bachman, who we now know is Stephen King.
Yeah.
He apparently hated this.
Did he? The film?
He hated the adaptation.
Oh, right.
He hated the adaptation. Now, on that, so his novel came out in 1982.
Yeah.
There is a film, I don't know if you've seen it, called The Prize of Peril.
Oh.
Which is a French film.
Oh, yeah.
That came out in 1983. Now,
Robert
Sheckley,
is it?
Now, that is absolutely this film, but 4 years earlier. But that is based on a 1958 story by Robert Sheckley.
That's what I'm thinking of, yeah.
I mean, it looks an awful lot like Stephen King has massively plagiarised it for his novel, at the very least. And I think Sheckley, who had every right to take him to court about it, just decided not to.
I thought there was there a lawsuit, or I think the lawsuit determined the movie was plagiarised from the 83 movie.
Maybe, yeah.
So I think they took it to the Prix de Danger.
Yeah.
Prize of Danger. You're right. Yeah.
Very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible. The French version as well is a lot more nihilistic, sinister. It's more of a political commentary.
More like Arnie wanted this to be.
I think so.
I'd imagine doing his research, he'd watch that.
Yeah, almost certainly.
You'd like to think so if he was going to perform in a similar movie and think, okay, I can deliver that.
Again, as well, that is massively the game show host in that gives a similar performance as well. There's so many parallels, but again, it's held up by a fantastic host performance. But I think, they're remarkably similar, but remarkably different.
It did really well at the box office, though, didn't it? I've got down here that it made 38 million against a 27 million budget. So I suppose it could have been better. But I think it was quite.
I think it's probably as well. I mean, that's back in the days when home video was a big.
Yeah.
It was a big second
Yeah.
chance for movies. I bet this did amazing on home video.
That was probably
video
apart from
store.
the cinema. That was the only.
Yeah.
It'd be a classic example of the whole wall of the
yeah.
Running Man, and they were
That's
all
it.
out all the time. And
Yeah.
Saturday night, don't even bother going down because
Yeah.
you won't get one. So yeah. Oh, that's good. I wrote here Stephen D'Souza, who wrote this. He wrote 15 drafts of the script through production to try and get himself to the point where he felt it was right. I mean, 15 drafts, because I know that it was. I think there was quite a bit of trouble with directors and the way the film was going, and Christopher Reeve was slated for the lead originally, but the project changed significantly in pre-production, and Arnie criticised the director, saying, like I said, it was too soft.
I think it is it's a little. I mean, there's still quite a bit of violence there. Quite a lot of violence.
Quite graphic.
Graphic. But it is still a little bit. Everyone wins in the end.
Yeah.
Which I assume is what he took issue with, because.
Yeah, it's entertaining.
It's pure
it's
entertainment,
a romp, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah, and it's an action movie with Arnie in, and you go to the cinema
at his peak as well
to watch Arnie be Arnold.
do his thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's Commando. It's Predator.
You don't want to see him do Shakespeare. Well, maybe you do, but
I'd like to see that.
You're not there to see him put on a masterclass.
No.
You're there to see him get oiled up and beat everyone up.
Yeah, and drop some one-liners.
And smoke a cigar.
Yeah. Sub-Zero, now just plain zero.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that was great. When he, I noted here, when they escaped from prison and they popped up in that horrendous wasteland, but he had a fantastically fitting set of clothes on.
Incredible.
A fresh cigar.
I know.
A fresh haircut.
Yeah, he looked amazing.
He looked amazing.
He did.
And Yaphet Kotto and the other fella are in like rags.
That's right. Yeah, well, I like the fact that what I did like with Yaphet Kotto, as always, big fan, is he kind of grounds. He's the grounding element of the film, because as cheeky and as funny as Arnie is, and the violence, and you can take it all on your chin, as it were. But serious contrast to that is Yaphet being. He restores some of the darkness that I think it needed.
Yeah, he does.
He just kind of just that one liner he sort of drops in now and again, just all the looks he gives, just to sort of make it all a little bit unpleasant again. Yeah, which is fair enough.
It does really well in that respect.
Yeah,
and all of the sort of resistance are the grounding to the craziness of Buzzsaw and Fireball.
It was great.
Fireball's Jim Brown.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah. Did you spot Jim Brown?
Barely a credit to his name in the 80s. Obviously massive in the 60s and 70s.
High Station Zebra.
Yeah.
And he's in Mars Attacks, I think.
He is. That's one of his later movies.
But he was NFL, wasn't he?
He was NFL, yeah. He's in The Dirty Dozen.
Yeah. I'll tell you one I did find, and you've probably seen this because you're big on the westerns. It's called Take a Hard Ride with Lee Van Cleef, 75. Yeah, I thought you might have done.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen that. Is that worth a look, is it?
It's pretty good.
I'm trying to work out where Jim Brown would fit in.
He is one of three leads. You've got Lee Van Cleef, Fred Williamson, and Jim Brown, and it's directed, I think, by Jack Arnold, maybe.
Oh, right. Okay.
That maybe not, but
another one of his.
It's a classic case of a robbed gold shipment, and they're all chasing it, and Lee Van Cleef
this sounds familiar.
Is sort of the real bad guy chasing Fred Williamson and Jim Brown, who have teamed up.
Right. Okay.
But it's good. It's a really good,
it sounds
enjoyable
very much
Western.
our kind of film, that. And it doesn't surprise me at all that you've already seen
we'll have to do a Fred Williamson actually, because he's great as well.
Yeah. Well, good shout out for Jim Brown, and he is. He's quite good in his role as well. He just looks like the sort of world weary when he's standing watching it, and he thinks, "Oh, great! I've got to go and gear up."
And do it.
They're all getting killed, so I'm up. You know, I thought I'd got rid of all this rubbish.
I love the scene as well where Jesse Ventura comes into the production meeting with all that crappy chrome armour on and has a strop.
That's right. It's all made out of plastic. He looks pretty fed up.
it's
no,
great.
that is good. But that's what I like about the movie. It can laugh at itself a little bit, and I think they were in serious danger if they went too
it would have
too serious, too rollerball. It would have been a little bit more, well, certainly less entertaining. You need a bit of a pressure cooker release, with that sort of film. It can't all be just full on aggro.
The beauty of the film is in the fun. Because
it's what you go
it's
for.
just an easy, enjoyable watch.
Exactly.
Really good fun.
Yeah.
Great 80. I mean, everything about this is.
Oh yeah. It looks great. It's very slick, isn't it? It must have been a big budget.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Because I mean, it looks right. It looks. I remember the thing about all of these sort of films. When you look at it. It looks how it should, and you've got fond memories of that's how the future looks.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the time, so it's got that
some of
Blade Runner look.
I don't know if they're miniatures or if it's early CGI, but the sort of cityscapes are awesome.
Yeah, I was
really
those.
good.
They're really well done with all the crowds.
And again,
and
this is the thing about practical effects. They age very, very well.
Yes, that's very true.
You watch films from 2010, 2012, 2014, and some of the CGI is really quite jarring, whereas when it's practical stuff, even from 60s, 70s and
more
80s,
accessible, isn't it?
It still looks pretty good.
Yeah, and I think if you could imagine yourself standing on that street, it just gives it that credibility. Rather, the thing about movie is it's an escape.
Yeah,
you're sitting in a dark room, watching it, and you want to be in there. You want to be one of the audience cheering them on. And this sort of film, this sort of look and feel. You get closer. It's more visceral. Whereas CGI has a tendency, it's very standoffish. You're kind of watching it from the outside rather than observing it from the inside. And
absolutely,
I think that's a lost art, really.
It is.
And I think there's been a couple of instances where there's been a trend to go back to real.
I think some directors are really insistent on it. Yeah, and you can tell why. If you want your work to stand up. Then it's the way to go.
Yeah, and actors, I think, interact better with an object rather than
a green screen.
Than a green screen. Yeah, exactly. Because
I think
it must be difficult.
I can't envisage anyone watching this and not at least having a great time at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I made a few general notes about what I liked. Yeah, as we said, looks great. Very slick.
Everything is
of
awesome.
The era.
I mean, the outfits for the villains. Dynamo's outfit.
Dynamo.
He's got like a homemade Tron outfit.
Oh no.
But he wants everything. He's got a Roman helmet. He's got a funny little electric car.
Yeah, which that wasn't very practical. That because he chases people in the car, and you've just got to step to one side, and then he drives it up a bank and rolls it. I mean, not the most effective. I mean, I know he's got electricity and all that.
He was awful.
Yeah, I mean, he actually even gets to sing a bit of Mozart's Marriage of Figaro as well.
Yeah, he's singing. He's a tenor as well.
Oh no, he's got it all, and then he's taken out of commission, which is a bit of a shame. But actually, there's a sad note on that because the film was released pre-Thanksgiving, November 13th, 1987, and this was 2 months after the death of cast member Erland van Lith, who played Dynamo.
Yeah.
So I don't know what happened there, but sadly we lost Dynamo.
Yeah, we lost Dynamo.
Well and truly.
Yeah.
Before the film was actually released.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, another interesting point. The music's Harold Faltermeyer.
Yeah.
And that again puts the proper.
Yeah.
Was he?
He's Top Gun.
Yeah. Yeah.
He hasn't got a load of credits, not big ones, but he did Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick.
But it does not sound.
And it sounds very Top Gun.
Yeah.
Really of that era.
Yeah.
It is the sound of the 80s, isn't it?
I think
synthesizer. She's even got a synthesizer in her apartment.
Yes, she has. You're right, actually. But I think you have to have the accompanying soundtrack to the movie. And it helps because we've seen some movies and the soundtrack's been so out of sync and so out of kilter with the movie feel time.
Yeah.
And you're just thinking, well, hang on, I'm getting distracted here because all I'm thinking is, why on earth did they pick that tune for this film? It accompanies it. And
it does.
It carries you along.
This is
it's almost like a voice in the movie.
It's a masterclass in getting production decisions correct.
Yeah.
Time after time after time.
Yeah.
It's right down to, using Arnold in exactly the right way. Your soundtrack's perfect.
Yeah.
And every single one of the stalkers brings it You know, they're all sort of also rounds in their acting careers. No great shakes.
No,
but they're all absolutely superb.
And you, funny enough, a bit like the audience when they say you wanted this guy.
Yeah.
You can have them both. We're thinking, oh, great. I want to see what Buzzsaw's about.
Yeah, exactly.
He was just totally out of his bonds, wasn't he? I mean, I don't know what he was on,
his,
but it made me... I mean, he shouldn't laugh, but there's the rather sort of classic where he actually gets chainsawed.
Yeah, that's it.
And he brings out a very high-pitched... Oh, you know, I mean, corny.
Yeah.
We all know what's happened, but you don't have to do that.
We get the one-liner, don't we? What happened to Buzzsaw? He had to split.
Yes, that's right. Another classic Arnie one-liner.
Yeah, it's
brilliant. Light up a cigar, Arnie.
It's really, pound for pound, it's up there probably in my top 3 Arnie flicks.
I agree. Yeah, I like. What's the one where he goes to Mars?
Total Recall.
Total Recall. I like that because I think it's a better story.
Yeah,
because I think that's a Philip K. Dick story.
Very possible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
that's a better flick.
We can remember it wholesale. Is the story? Is the book? And I think it's Philip K. Dick, but we can remember it wholesale. Is the story? But yeah, that's a fun story, and that's what the spy.
It's a great movie. Again, it's right in his peak era.
And again, it's modern retro commentary on now a modern reality.
Absolutely,
almost,
yeah.
You know, virtual reality. Well, nearly virtual reality. So, standout performance, what do you say? I mean, I know who I've got.
It's probably got to be Richard Dawson, really.
Richard Dawson.
He really knits it together.
What a great villain, isn't he?
He is horrible, isn't he?
Cynical, charismatic, ruthless producer. And you could imagine him being the guy. When the cleaner, he says, I mean, the poor guy. I wanted to check and see if that was a cameo by some eminent,
maybe.
because it was like a bit part, and he's just mopping the floor, and he just happens to bump him, and he's like, I want him gone tomorrow. If not, you know, and that you can just imagine. I don't know. I've never worked in that environment, but it just felt like it was that sort of ruthless and horrible.
Absolutely.
But he was my standout performance, and to be fair, I mean, Yaphet Kotto always good, but you know he was just there to sort of make it a bit less jovial. And I don't think he was looking for any Oscars on that one.
No, I think
Arnie's always good.
Always good value.
Actually, there's a couple of music links I want to chuck in here, as I like to do. There's a notable music link. Mick Fleetwood. Did you see Mick Fleetwood? Now he was a founder member of Fleetwood Mac. He was a bloke with the whiskers and the beard who takes the collar off.
Oh yeah.
When they're first taken to the Resistance.
Yeah.
And he's got an English accent, and I thought, I know him. He looks like a wizard.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's Mick Fleetwood. And interestingly, again, Frank Zappa, his son, Dweezil Zappa, is in there. He's another one of the Resistance. So there's a couple of pretty major music players. I mean, I think Mick Fleetwood was sort of past his music career at that time, but it's nice that I don't know how it happened, but it's good that he appears, and you do see these sort of eminent music people pop up in these movies. Maybe by I think Henry Rollins pops up in there's a couple of movies and things like that, and it's nice to see. So I think my standout was Richard Dawson, and then you have to give Arnie credit for holding it all together, because if he weren't in it, you wouldn't watch it.
He's the meal ticket for everyone, isn't he? You know,
he's the big name.
That budget is when...
I mean, his name's about 10 foot tall at the start, starring, before they've even told you what it is.
It is. The trajectory of his career is stark. You think it was, 84 Terminator?
Yeah.
Or 82?
Well, before that, he did Pumping Iron.
Pumping Iron, of course.
Yeah.
So,
and that introduced you to the
terms of
guy.
Yeah, true. He had a presence.
Yeah.
But in terms of the movie industry, talk about right place, right time. But
that's it.
To go from
in a nutshell,
your debut to just being a box office guarantee.
Phenomena, the guy was. He was, I mean, Conan.
Yeah.
I mean, he spawned all of these sort of genres that people saw. Sorcery was relaunched again.
Yeah.
Science fiction effectively was made more accessible because it wasn't highbrow. I mean, Predator. I mean, the Predator franchise. I mean, that's... I mean, I still like that original movie. It's so good. No, more one-liners in there. Stick around.
And even the potential disaster of a sequel, Terminator 2, arguably better than Terminator 1.
Totally. Well, if you pour enough money into something, I suppose.
Yeah, true.
But the story was good, and he had to pull it off as a different kind of Terminator, and he did that.
Yeah, it was great.
So equally, the guy's, he's he's value, totally entertaining. Yeah.
He's just a force of charisma.
He's no Hamlet, but, you know, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Entertain me, Arnie. Yeah,
And to be
100%.
fair, in this and in this era, he looks $1 million.
Doesn't he look good?
Because he's trimmed down a bit from Mr. Olympia.
Yeah,
and even the early movie
in this
roles.
Film, in Running Man, his physique looks great.
Yeah,
you
this
know.
is the best he looked, I think, because he's still massive, but he's not sort of laughably
he's not
huge.
bulging, is he?
No.
He's athletic.
He's athletic.
Overly developed athletic.
Yeah.
But he looks, and I think that was demand at the time. We want to see a guy who's, you know.
Well, look at what it spawned. You know, the sort of Dolph Lundgren,
exactly,
and slightly later Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I was thinking Van Damme. Yeah,
all the sort of blokes that spent the whole movie with their shirt off.
Well,
that became the thing to see.
Arguably kicked off by Bronson.
Probably,
you know, at the end of the day, mid-70s, he couldn't make a movie with, he had to take his shirt off. It was a Western because he looked so good. And there's a demand for that, I think, because, you know, it's of interest to the audience.
Yeah,
and
absolutely,
if you show something in the peak of its perfection, then people are going to admire it.
That is something that's lasted until today, because if you look at a sort of a 70s star that would be considered a heartthrob, you know, a Connery, or like a Steve McQueen, they're in shape, but they've got average sort of builds, and then Schwarzenegger's come along, and like I say, it probably started in some way by the Bronson effect, and by the late 80s and right through till now, everyone on screen is an Adonis.
Well, that's why Daniel Craig had to appear in trunks as Bond.
Yeah, exactly.
And other than Connery, who was actually a Mr.
He was a bodybuilder as well, yeah.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he?
And he had a great physique for the 70s, but now...
Yeah. Well, yeah,
and
indeed.
you know, Stallone as well. They're all from that school.
Yeah.
And
so it's an interesting tangent we've gotten off in there because, So we've decided who we like best. The next part of our review, of course, is what would you pair this with? And my goodness, there are so many.
There are lots.
So many links. In fact, I've just listed a few to see where we're at with this. So.
Yeah, well,
do you want to start then?
I think there'll be some crossover here for sure.
Yeah.
I've started with The Prize of Peril, the French version of this.
Yeah, I thought you might bring that one in.
Which is it's excellent in its own right. It's almost too different to be a double feature. But then it does work in contrast. Yeah.
If you watch it first, maybe that'd be interesting.
Yeah, maybe. I think, I don't know. It's quite downbeat. It's
French,
kind of in the way that this is like the ultimate American.
The original one was French, wasn't it?
The original was French. So this is like the ultimate Americanized movie, right? It's pure capitalism. There's adverts everywhere.
Right.
It's sort of American movie on steroids. The Running Man 1987.
Yeah.
The 83 version is like the new wave on steroids.
Right.
So it's all downbeat, and you know, society is horrible and everyone's horrible.
So it's a social message of the time.
So in that one, the difference is instead of convicts, it's unemployed people.
Right.
And instead of these characters that are like wrestlers, the stalkers are 5 people that have applied. And instead of the games, basically the unemployed guy has to spend 4 hours in the city outrunning the 5 stalkers who have got access to cars and trackers and a pistol.
Okay.
And there's a scene.
You know, that sounds like a better premise to me, to be honest.
And there's a scene where the host, who's great again, Michelle Piccoli, I think it is, and he interviews the 5 people, and he says, the first one, why did you apply to be on the show? Why do you want to do this role? And he said, I just walk around with my pistol and fantasize about shooting people.
Okay.
And then they go to the next guy, and he's like, yeah, same. I just think, I'd love to kill someone, but obviously I'd go to jail. And he goes down the row, and they're all sort of agreeing.
Okay.
And it's like, geez, it's like the sort of the death wish thing, right?
Yeah.
And it's like these people, you know, this is such a criticism of society that these people feel this way.
But we keep bringing the movie business keeps, or the science fiction genre keeps bringing this idea forward as a possible future. I mean, I'm not saying we're getting closer, but
No,
you know,
but you could
imagine something. I mean, we've got a lot of reality game shows that are okay. They're not killing people, but they're pretty much debasing people.
Yeah, and if you were to launch an advert in a paper tomorrow with the criteria that
some people apply for that,
that the prize of peril obviously would ask for in their hypothetical ad, you would get applicants.
You would,
which pretty much says all you need to know, doesn't it?
That? Yeah, well there you go. So
that's a great one. I've got Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Again, it's in that era. Kurt Russell, brilliant. Total Recall, I included in there.
Yeah, well done.
Which we've discussed. Face Off.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
I think there's quite a nice. I like the parallels there between the someone that's wronged, but no one realises it.
Yeah.
And there's
sort of
a
like
fun
the hidden element.
There's a fun to face, despite the fact it's also super violent. There's a fun to face off.
There is.
Which is great.
Which is
again, strong lead performances in that movie as well.
Oh yeah, good film.
Death Race 2000.
Yeah, good, cool.
Which again is the reality TV critique, although quite a lot earlier than this.
Yeah.
And the last one I've got is The 10th Victim.
Oh, okay.
1965, Elio Petri. That is also, not this one, but that's also based on a Robert Sheckley story.
Oh, same
and
guy.
That is it's like a bit like the Hunger Games, where there's a hunter and a hunted.
Yeah.
And you draw straws to see who's who.
Right.
And whoever's
sort of predatorial.
Whoever gets the short straw in essence is the one on the run, and then winner stays on.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
And it's another great premise.
It's a premise that never gets old.
Gets old.
Because as a species, we are a bit like that.
And again,
we are hunter-gatherer folk.
And again, that's this directed by Elio Petri, who was sort of a powerhouse of Italian political cinema.
Oh, there you go.
And that's really quite edgy and nihilistic. And of course, I suppose I haven't got it here, but you could even include what is the basis for a lot of these stories, The Most Dangerous Game.
Yeah.
Which I can't remember the year that is. The black and white film. It's only about 70 minutes long.
Yeah,
but where he hunts humans for sport, doesn't he?
That's right. Well, let me tell you what I've got, because it varies a little bit, and again, it's more sort of genre specific for me for my movie past. So, Rollerball, 1975. Because I like the whole contest gladiatorial element of that. Mm-hmm. Set in the future, you got to basically destroy other people in a team sport to pursue, and there is a stronger political message under that. And I think that's almost the film it might have been if it had been a bit more dark and political.
Maybe.
Enter the Dragon, 73.
Yeah.
Now, one I found that I want to watch that I didn't realise existed it's called The Ultimate Warrior. And that's Yul Brynner, 1975, directed by Robert Klaus, who did Enter the Dragon and Game of Death.
Interesting.
Now, I haven't seen that, but when I read the synopsis of it, it seemed quite interesting. You've got this ultimate warrior who has to sort of defend. So that one I'll be exploring and feed back on. Fight Club.
Yeah, good. Yeah, that's a good
I'm trying to bring it more into the modern arena now. Dread, as in the Judge Dredd sort of...
Stallone.
I thought the other one.
The newer one.
Carl Urban. Where he's in the building and he's having to survive, and he's having to fight his way through the building just to survive. Escape from New York, you did. Logan's Run, 1976 with Michael York, isn't it? Capricorn 1. Now, I like Capricorn 1. That's the space film where they faked the moon landing. And the reason I did this was it highlights the use of TV to dupe the public and fake transmissions, and that kind of mirrors the manipulated game show footage in The Running Man. So they fake the moon landing,
fake news,
or was it Mars landing? Yeah, fake news, and then they convince the astronauts it's for the benefit of NASA because they couldn't afford to send them there, and then they go into hiding. The 4 astronauts. I don't know if you've seen it.
No,
it's a good film, and they escape their captivity, because I think the plan is that now they've told there's an issue, and the spaceship blows up because they were going to bring them home, and then they were going to have a fake parade, and they never went, but they were going to pretend they went, home, and then give them a fake parade. But on re-entry, there's a problem. The spaceship blows up, so because everybody thinks they're dead.
Yeah, sure. So they've got to
and now they have to be dead,
hidden away. Yeah,
and the guys are in a base somewhere in the middle of nowhere, and they don't get it, and they find out that there might be something, and then they escape.
Interesting.
And so the movie then moves to they're in the desert, and they're all going off in 4 directions on the compass, and they're all hunted by
interesting.
the CIA or whoever's running NASA. And I remember, and it's all based on fake news and the consequences of weaving a lie,
web
and
of
then
lies,
having to support it with really tough action. So if you haven't seen Capricorn,
that's good.
It's a massively underrated film. And I think OJ's in it. I think he might be one of the astronauts.
Yeah, I've definitely looked at it. I've not watched it, but I've looked it up.
Maybe we should watch it and recommend.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. So that was the last of my recommends. And the only other thing I've written here is Uplink. The Skynet connection bleeds well into T1 and T2. So when he finds the uplink in there, I always say it's almost like that was a direct carry cross into Terminator with uplink and Skynet and all that. So what did you give this out of your scoring?
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
That's really good.
It's got a remarkably low average on Letterboxd, 3.2.
Really?
I don't get how you could watch, even if you don't like sci-fi or if you don't like violent movies, I don't get how you couldn't watch this and at least enjoy it more than because that to me is sort of a run-of-the-mill forgotten thing, you know.
I'd watch this again and again, and I will do for the rest of my movie watching existence. And I think if you want to be entertained and you keep going back to it, you keep pulling it out of the DVD collection, or if it's on in the background and you say, Running Man's on tonight, I'll record it and I will watch it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's a guaranteed. I mean, the whole purpose of this medium is to entertain.
Exactly, and it delivers
it delivers
with
it
bells
100%.
on.
So I bordered on 9 simply because I thought, So I've written 8 because I thought I haven't given anybody a 9. But and I'm sure we'll do some other films that are maybe more worthy of a 9. So I'll call it 8.5.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? You know, for what it is, but it's pretty damn perfect in terms of what it's giving you.
You can't go wrong. Very popular, I should think, and it's again not quite our less obscure movie. It's a guaranteed winner. And,
but probably forgotten to a certain extent.
Yeah, a little bit. I haven't seen many poor reviews or bad commentary on Running Man because it's a.
Well, it got a reboot, didn't it? There was a remake just last year which I haven't seen.
No, me neither.
Which is directed by Edgar Wright of Hot Fuzz, etc.
Yeah,
and it's meant to be closer to the original.
Well, he makes a dark movie.
He does, and it's meant to be closer to the novel. So I would be intrigued to see it. I didn't have time to get it in.
Okay.
But I would like to see how that stacks up.
Highly enjoyable. Glad you picked it. And I'm glad we reviewed it.
Yes, well, that is that for this week. So what I will do, as always, this will go up on our Letterboxd with a list of all of the recommendations we've talked about, which will save you writing them all down when you listen. So check that out and follow us on all the various links. If you search Real Redux on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or anything else social media, we should pop up, and we've got the same picture on all of them. So
absolutely. So
there we go. And of course, join us next week for another film.
Yeah.
And if you are new around here, by all means explore the back catalogue. This is episode 11.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Please do.
So there is more and more, and there's quite a lot of variation now. So
we are trying to vary this, as you will see, as future presentations.
Yeah, that's it.
We'll try and cover something we haven't touched on.